Alrighty, so what you're going to be doing today is you are going to be doing equations again, but these are a special type where, let me get rid of this, where we need to work with decimals and we need to get rid of those decimals. So I don't know if Mr. Ty ever did these with you. Does anybody know how to get rid of the decimal? Okay, so what you're going to do, in fact, here's an example up here, is if it's 2 places over, there's only one, but it doesn't matter, you go to the one that's the most to the right, is you're going to multiply it through by 100. Because if I had 12 hundredths as a fraction or a decimal, when I'm multiplying it through by 100, it cancels it out. So we're going to do the same thing here. So we're going to take this, and the fastest way to multiply it by 100 is just to move it over 2 places, but on this one we don't need to. We only need to move it over 1 place. So you're going to move this 1 place. It's as if we're multiplying it by 10. And so you do the same thing on yours. And then we're going to rewrite it on your paper. So that one's going to be on the number 2. Oh, and by the way, this is assignment number 6. So this first one is going to be then 15 plus 30R is equal to a negative 42. So the first thing you want to do with these is clear the decimal. So we'll set up also the number 3. Who thinks they know how many places over do I need to move the decimal on this one?
2.
2. No, well, 2. You're right, 2. Because that's 2, and we're just going to have to move it 2. You have to do the same thing on every single one. So we're going to move it over 2. So it ends up here. This one's going to be 1, 2. So we've got to add a 0. And this one, 1, 2. So when you rewrite the number 3, it's going to end up being, who thinks they know? 6n. So it's going to be 6n minus 30. Where's the equal sign? I covered it up. Is equal to a negative 21. And then you can solve it from there. So I'm going to help you set up some. I don't know if I'm going to solve any or not, but let's go ahead and set up the number 4. So if you're leaving it like this, I would leave 1, 2, 3, 4, and maybe start the number 4 on the 5th row. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then on the 5th row. That should give you plenty of room to solve it. So on the number 4, okay, this is an interesting one. Who thinks they know how many places do I have to move the decimal on the number 4?
Once.
If I just move it once, it's going to be right here. I'm still going to have a decimal.
Or 3 times.
3 times. So I need to move it to get this to be a whole number. So, and if I move it 3 on that one, I move it 3 on everything. So on the 1, I need to put a decimal. So I'm going to move it 1, 2, 3, and this is going to be 3t. And then we'll transfer it in a second. And then from this decimal that I had to add, I'm going to move it 2. And so what's this number going to be?
1.0.
Well, that decimal is being moved. That decimal is now going to be at the end. It's going to be 100.
Oh, yeah.
And then this one I move. Oh, wait. I just made a mistake.
It's 1,000.
It's 1,000. Thank you. You get candy. Do I have candy? Yes, I do. All right. Because it's 1, 2, 3, and I had to go 1, 2, 3. So it's going to be 1,000. And then this one we have to move it 3 also. So who thinks they know what this number is going to end up being?
220.
220. So 1, 2, 3, and I have to tack on a 0. So I'm going to rewrite that as, let me make this a little bit, okay. I'm going to rewrite that as a 3t, and then we have plus 1,000, is equal to, I think that's equal to, is equal to 220. Okay, and then we'll, okay. Then let's look at your number 5. On your number 5, who knows how many places you need to move the decimal on that one? So we have no decimals. Look at all the numbers carefully. Once. Very good. Well, you didn't catch a mistake. So on this one, if I move it over once, who knows what this number is going to be?
300.
If I move it over once?
Or 30.
Yeah, it's a 3 right now, and I'm going to move it over once, so it becomes a 30. This one, if I move it once, it's going to be a 21. What is this one going to be if we move?
40.
The decimal's at the end of the 4, so this one's going to be 40A. Who knows what this is going to be if we move it over once?
7 or -7.
He's the only one that knows. It's going to be a -7. So I'm going to rewrite that one as 30A plus 21 plus 40A is equal to -7. And we'll stop just for a second and maybe do this one problem. And you can go back in a little bit and do the others. So who knows on this problem number 5, after we've moved our decimal, what would you need to do first? Armando, can you see what we need to do first?
Combine like terms.
Combine like terms. 40A's plus 30A's is 70A's. Plus that 21 is equal to the -7. Then who knows what we need to do next? Trinity, do you know what we need to do next on that one?
-7?
Nope.
Wait, what? I'm so confused. -21.
Trinity, do you know what we need to do next? What's that? Yeah, we're trying to isolate the A, so we need to get rid of this, which is a -21, and over here a -21.
They're both negative, so
So yeah, this cancels out. So we're going to put our 70A is equal to same sign sum. Yes, sir. Number 3? Okay. Well, first of all, keep up with us. And you shouldn't have been working on that because we're doing this one. I'll have to go back and make sure I wrote. That's over 2 places, 2 places, 2 places. We wrote it down right, so I don't know. I'll have to look at it later. So on this one, same sign sum. What is that going to be? Who knows what -7 and -21 is? -28. And then how do we get rid of the 70? Divide it through, divide it through, divide it through by 70, divide it through by 70. And I don't know if you're going to have fractional answers, but we're going to find out. So does 7 go into 28 and 7 go into 70?
No. Yes.
Yes. So we can divide both of those through by 7.
3/10.
So it's going to be a negative. Isn't that 4? 28 divided by 7 is 4/10, which is 2/5. So I don't know what answer they have. Here are the... Huh. I didn't... No, it's 4/10. But I don't see my answer. Oh, here it is, right here. So they put it in. They put it in. Well, they put it in decimal form. So -4/10 is the same thing as this one. So this one is going to be A is equal to -4/10 or -0.4. And then let's go back up to that one, the number 3. Yeah, and all your work does need to be done on the paper. Again, and make sure that you have your answers right below the equation, not to the side. These are linear. That is how you need to do them in high school and in 8th grade. All right, so what was wrong with this one? What did you have to do first? It was 6, it's what? Plus 30. Plus 30. So you've got 6n. This cancels off. These are not the, guys, I need you to stop. These are not the same sign. So what do?
Subtract.
So 30 minus 21 is 9. Divide through by what?
Different demeanor difference.
We've already done this. So now we're dividing through by the 6. And I think they're, all right, so I think this is divided by 3, which is 3/2. And 3 divided by 2 is 1. 1 times 2 is 2. It should be 1.5. I hope. And I don't see, yeah. And so again, what they've done is they put it in decimal form. It's the same thing as 1.5. Yeah, all the mixed up answers are up here and also here. So it is the number 3. Number 3, n is equal to, was it a positive? 1 1/2 or 1.5. Okay. And then let's see which other ones we're going to do. I don't know how many we're going to get done. All right. So, boys, let's focus. All right. So then let's go down. So all of these, you've got to move the decimal from 1 through 8. And then let's see how we're going to clear these 3. In fact, these 4 in here. What is it that you don't like about the number 9?
The fraction.
The fraction. So what you're going to do is you're going to multiply it through by the common denominator. In this case, there's only one denominator, which is a 2. So you're going to multiply everything through by 2. So on the first one, what happens with 2 divided by that 2? It cancels. In fact, I'm going to do this also. I'm going to put a 2 here because we have to multiply through by 2 on everything. So 2 divided by 2 cancels. I'm going to be left with n. Then what is 2 times 5? It's going to be 10, so minus 10 equals, and then 2 times 15. 30. And I think we can finish this one right here. What's the only thing we need to do to finish this one up? Is what? Plus 10, yeah, good job. So plus 10 cancels off. So n is equal to what? 40. So that one is, okay, let me cross this off, 1.5. And we also have the negative 0.4. And then that 40 is right here. So I'm going to use my line paper again, and we're going to clear this number 10. Who thinks they know what we should multiply everything through on that number 10? 3.5. So it's going to be this times 3.5, this times 3.5, this times 3.5. And I have a feeling we're not just going to have to clear the fraction. We probably will end up with a decimal that we have to clear. So what happens with, and I'm going to carry it over to the paper, what happens with 3.5 divided by 3.5? It cancels, and so you just left with the y. I think after this row, we're going to stop because we're just not going to have time to go over all of them. Right? And then we have 3.5 times 15, so we'll just take it over here. Okay, if you're humming, you're not focusing, guys. All right, so, and again, you should be copying this down. So 5 times that is... And then when I start with the 1, it's going to go under the 1. Who knows on this, how many places do we need to go over? One place. So this is going to be plus 52.5. Then on this one, we still have to go 17 times 3.5. That's going to be dirty. And we start with the 1, it goes under the 1. And the decimal again goes over one place. So that is going to be equal to 59.5. Now, look carefully at what the next step would be. Here's my question. Would I need to clear the decimal by moving it over once? Yes, no, maybe, kind of, not really. Mentally, kind of, without clearing it, what would you have to do on the next step? Yeah, you'd have to subtract it. And if I subtract, is it going to take out that 0.5?
Yes.
Yes. So this means I don't have to clear it. I can just go ahead and subtract and subtract. So that's going to be a y is equal to, I think we've got our answer. Is it 7?
7 years.
And that is right here.
That's the 9.
Let me see what time it is, because I don't want to. It is 11. Okay. Yeah, let me see how many we're going to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we're going to stop right here. Who knows what we have to multiply this one by? 3. I would just start by multiplying it through by 3, and then we'll worry about the negatives next. So a negative s will be left. A negative 12, and equals a negative what? Negative 30. Now, you're right. What I don't like now is all of these negatives. And if you change all the signs, as long as you do it to all of them, you're still doing that balance step. So I can make this plus, plus, and plus. And now can you solve it? And now it's just got one step to go. Who knows the one step? Minus 12. So that one we can finish right here. So S is equal to, they're not the same sign. We're not going to sum. What does this come to? 18. Good job. And that is way up at the top. Now, this last one, before I clear that 5 on the bottom, I need to make this into an improper. Who knows the improper for 5 1/5?
11,
Nope.
or 26. Or
There
not,
you
25,
go. No,
25.
yeah, 25 plus the 1, because you go check plus 5. 5 times 5 is 25, plus 1 more is 26. So this is going to be 26 over 5. So we're going to multiply through the whole thing by 5, each and every one of these by 5, and this side by 5. So I'm going to bring this one on my paper. So 5 times 5y is 25y. 5 times negative 1 is negative 5. 5 times the negative 3, who knows what that's going to be? Negative 15y. And then what happens with this 5 and this 5 at the end? It
25.
cancels and we're just left with the what?
26.
26. Let's go ahead and finish this and I'm going to let you all do the rest. So what do we have to do first? What can I do with these y's and these y's? Okay, Trinity, please don't be doing that on your paper. So 25 minus 15y is what?
20?
It's 10, thank you. It's going to be 10y, and then we have the minus 5 is equal to 26. Oh, this is going to come out ugly. I have a feeling I didn't do it right. Right. And then what do we have to do to get rid of the 5? Plus 5, plus 5. So you've got 10y is equal to 31. What's the last step?
Switch the word, like, flip it.
Is divide. Yeah, thank you. It's a multiplication. Opposite is a division. 31 divided by 10. How many 10s are in 31? 3. Anything left is going to be a 10. 3 times 10. I've used 30 pieces, and there are 1 left. And I think that is right here. And we will tackle the rest tomorrow. So girls and boys, you don't have that many to do. You've got 1, 4, 6, 7, 8. That is it.
Can I get your version?
Yes, go ahead.